Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the monthly Q&A video. This is the series where you can submit questions about life, hobbies, wrestling, or anything that you want over on X. So if you'd like to be featured in next month's Q&A video, make sure that you follow me on X. I'll put the direct link to it in the description for you. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications. If you're a wrestling fan, I'm really confident that you're gonna fall in love with this YouTube channel because we always upload daily wrestling content. And don't forget, if you want even more daily wrestling content, to come over to the Patreon, patreon.com/SantiZap. Over there, you're gonna get so much more extra content that we just never upload on YouTube because we just simply can't. So come check it out, patreon.com/SantiZap, link in the description. Come check it out. All right, let's get to your questions. Do you ever get bored of wrestling? Specifically, name your least favorite month of wrestling in 2024. Yeah, I do get bored of wrestling from time to time. In fact, there's been numerous moments in my life where I've gotten so bored with professional wrestling where I reduced the amount of wrestling that I watch, or in some extreme cases, I stopped watching altogether. Like in 2007, I was just really bored with the concept of professional wrestling and I stopped watching for numerous years. In 2019, I stopped watching Raws and SmackDowns. I would just watch the clips on YouTube because the product was so bad and it just didn't warrant me sitting there for 5 hours a week watching crappy television. But nowadays, admittedly, the product is really, really good. Sure, there's a couple of bad episodes of Raw or SmackDown here or there, but for the most part, it has been like consistently really good over the last couple of years. In terms of like the most boring or my least favorite month of wrestling in 2024, I guess I'll go with December because there wasn't really this like big thing that they were building up to. The big thing that they built up to was Saturday night's main event, but that was like not even quite PLE levels. But for the most part, again, this was a fantastic year for professional wrestling. There wasn't this like stretch where I was like, this is bad and not worth watching. Who is your early choice for comeback wrestler of the year? Okay, so I'm not quite sure how you're wording this. I don't know if you're asking me for my comeback wrestler of the year 2024 or who I think is going to win comeback wrestler of the year in 2025. So I'm just going to answer both. Comeback wrestler in 2024 is it's CM Punk. CM Punk coming back, not just from being gone from the WWE for 10 years, making his return in ring at the Royal Rumble in 2024, but also coming back off of the tricep tear injury and having a feud of the year, match of the year, having that great Survivor Series War Games match. To me, the comeback player was CM Punk. And in 2025, my money on comeback player is likely going to be Charlotte Flair, coming back off of a years-long injury, being gone from the WWE. And when you look at the landscape of WWE now, since Charlotte Flair has been gone, there are so many new, fresh faces for her to have major main event caliber feuds and matches with. Of course, the first one that I'm thinking of is Tiffany Stratton. So I feel like the one that's in the driver's seat going into 2025 is Charlotte Flair. Who is your most anticipated Royal Rumble return / debut? Could be men's or women's. When it comes to returns, for me, it is the return of Jordynne Grace, because I feel if Jordynne Grace is inserted into this year's Rumble, she ain't going anywhere. She is just in the WWE. At least that's my hope. That's what I have fingers crossed for. And when it comes to call-ups, I'm really excited to see what Roxanne Perez could potentially do. For the men, for a call-up, I'd love to see Trick Williams, man. A Trick Willie Royal Rumble entrance would hit so hard. And in terms of like a surprise entrant, I gotta see Joe Hendry in the men's Rumble this year. How would you feel about Dominik winning King of the Ring and becoming the real Rey Mysterio? Oh my God. I never thought of that. I never thought about the fact that if Dominik Mysterio were to win the King of the Ring, he would legitimately be Rey Mysterio. Rey is king in Spanish, in case you didn't know. This is brilliant. This has to happen at some point. But how would I feel about it? I feel great. I feel great now that you've pointed this out to me. I don't know how I never connected these dots. When and why did you move to Canada from Colombia, and did you already know English before? So I moved to Canada in 2002, and I would have been just shy of 9 years old. So I lived my entire childhood in Colombia. I was born in Colombia. Did I know English before? I knew like a tiny little bit because I went to a private school in Colombia that provided English classes. Like I knew like basic bare words. Like I could say hamburger and ask for an order at McDonald's. That's about it. But I learned English really, really fast in Canada. One, because I had a little bit of a foundation, and two, kids just pick up languages instantly. Will the women main event a night of WrestleMania this year? If so, what match would you deem worthy? Sorry for the two questions. It's all right. They kind of go hand in hand. I don't think that there is a match or a feud this year that is Mania main event worthy, at least not yet. Like I feel like there is a possibility to create a match and a feud that is as main event worthy, like Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair, but it just doesn't seem like those paths are going to cross just yet. So there is the talent right now on the table to create a Mania main event worthy match. It just doesn't seem like the talent that could create that main event worthy match is in a trajectory course to face off against one another. So I'm going to say no for this year's WrestleMania. Do you think that John Cena wins the Royal Rumble this year at number 17? By the way, that's kind of brilliant to have John Cena come out at number 17 for the men's Royal Rumble. I never thought of that. That's something that they should 100% do. Do I think that John Cena is going to win the Royal Rumble? No. I feel like after that promo, him kind of setting us the expectation of failure, giving us the expectation that this is not the Super Cena that we knew, that we grew up with, it tells me that we're in for a year of close but so far. He's going to provide a year of heartbreak, which tells me, if I'm a betting man, that not only will Cena not win the Rumble, I'm willing to put money that Cena is the last person eliminated in the Rumble, being the runner-up. How confident are you that the Chargers will win the Super Bowl? The delusional Chargers fan in me is 100% certain, but the rational person in me, 0%. We're not winning the Super Bowl, but if we do win the Super Bowl, holy shit, oh my God. Do you see Mayu Iwatani going to the WWE? So over the last year, I've become, I guess, accustomed to Mayu Iwatani through Match Club that we do on Patreon, patreon.com/SantiZap, because Mayu Iwatani matches get voted up a lot. And if you didn't know, she is a wrestler in Stardom and she is fantastic. She truly, I've not seen a bad match from her. Does she come to the WWE? I don't know. I don't know what the relationship looks like there. I don't know anything about what's going on. Would I love to see a world where we could see a prime Mayu Iwatani on like the main roster? Sure, because I know her matches are fantastic. I'd love to see it, but I don't know. Do I see it? I don't know. If you had to pick one thing that you wish WWE would do this year, what would it be? It implies pushes, title changes, a feud that you might want, etc. Look, I'm going to keep it simple. It is just John Cena's 17th. I know that he's setting us to expect failure, to not expect him to win the 17th, but you have to. You cannot allow Cena to come back for this 1 year final tour, this final run, and not have him win the 17th. This is your mascot. This is your Mickey Mouse. This is the face of your company for the better part of over a decade when he was in the company. Give him the 17th. I would honestly just be so heartbroken if he doesn't win 17th in this final run. With TikTok seemingly dying soon, where do you see small creators going moving forward? It sucks, dude, that TikTok is going away because it was the best platform to be discovered as a small creator. I know, because that's where I started as a wrestling content creator. And look at me now, Dad. Look at me now. Look at you now. Anyways, it sucks that we're losing that platform, but at some point, people are going to figure out where those eyeballs from TikTok, where they landed. I don't know where they're going to go. It could be YouTube Shorts. It could be Instagram. All I know is that all those other platforms that are available are a lot harder to build an audience compared to TikTok. So I feel like it's going to be an uphill battle for many small content creators. I'm just really lucky and really fortunate to no longer be considered a small content creator because I was able to diversify and grow all of my platforms, which I highly recommend that people do. Can you show us your wiener, please? I mean, sure, if you want to ask. Hang on, it's kind of big enough that I got to stand up. Here you go. His name's Dwayne the Dog Johnson, in case you didn't know. You've talked about eventually stepping away from YouTube as it's not sustainable as a career and maybe start your own business/company. If I asked you for a business plan/model, what would it be? What type of people would you be looking for to be a part of your team? So you're right. For me, the long-term goal is to eventually move away from YouTube and create a business from this online world. Right now, what I have envisioned is to start a marketing company, an agency that can help sell advertisements for other content creators. You see how on my videos, you sometimes see a sponsor, right? I want to be the person that sells that for other content creators. That's the idea of the company that I have in mind. In terms of like what kind of people I'm looking for, I'd be looking for people that want to work in the space of content creation, in the space of marketing, influencing, and just go-getters, I guess. If I want to be just like a generic business dude, yeah, I need go-getters. Fellas, I love going to wrestling shows, and if you've ever been in a packed arena full of other wrestling fans, you'll know that a lot of them how do I put this kindly, don't smell very good. And I've always been really careful to take care of my personal hygiene when I go to wrestling shows to make sure that I don't join the statistic of stinky wrestling fans. And now it's much easier to do so thanks to today's sponsor, Mando. Mando works so well because it doesn't cover up odor after the fact with heavy fragrances like certain other deodorants do. Instead, it stops the odor at the source by blocking the bacteria on your skin from eating your sweat, which is the actual cause of BO. What does this mean? It means that Mando is clinically proven to control odor for up to 72 hours. Mando deodorant was my go-to deodorant for a SummerSlam weekend, a weekend that I spent walking all over Cleveland, meeting viewers and jumping and screaming for hours in a packed stadium with over 50,000 people. And I may have walked out of SummerSlam incredibly tired. I may have walked out sick with the flu, but damn it, I smelled amazing from beginning to end and beyond. Mando's starter pack is perfect for a new customer. It comes with a solid stick of deodorant, cream tube deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice, like the mini body wash or the deodorant wipes. You also get free shipping. Luckily, I have a discount code to help you get hooked on my favorite smelling whole body deodorant on the market. New customers will get $5 off the starter pack with my exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off of your starter pack. Just make sure that you use code Santi at shopmando.com. Again, that is code Santi at shopmando.com. Thank you very much to Mando for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back into it. How has the move to Netflix changed your daily working routines? It hasn't. It's just made them a little bit easier because in Canada we had Sportsnet and Sportsnet was really bad, but WWE on Netflix so far is incredibly nice and incredibly smooth. Also, when we do match clubs, I don't have to look for matches on the WWE YouTube page or on some shady website. I now have all of the matches that I could want on Netflix, so it's made the Patreon easier. I'm 22 years old and I'm a trainee engineering. Is it okay for money to be my goal at this age of my life? Of course it is. And here's like my one piece of advice. Next time that you have an opportunity to invest in something like ZooCoin, ZooToken, or Haktua coin, please make sure to put all of your money in that. It's a great idea. I'm a content creator as well, and I want to start doing daily videos. What are your tips and how to maintain that consistency? My number one tip is don't do it. It's really bad for your overall psyche and for your health. It's the reason why I'm eventually going to be moving away from doing daily videos. But if you're dead set on doing it, then do it, because so many people say they're going to do it and then they do it for a week and then they realize it's hard and then they stop doing it. And then not only do they stop doing it, they just stop creating content altogether because they aren't getting the results that they expected out of the daily content. It is a slow grind that eventually snowballs, eventually builds. But if you're going to do it, don't half-ass it. Like, give yourself an entire year and make sure that for 365 days you upload regardless of the situation, rain, shine, whether you're sick, it doesn't matter. You get a video out. You see how awful that sounds? So that's why my suggestion is to just not do it. Top 3 female wrestlers in NXT, Raw, and SmackDown. I'm just going to give you who I think is the top of each one of those brands. For NXT, I think it's Stephanie Vaquer. For Raw, I think it is Io Sky. And for SmackDown, like, honestly, it's a bit of a toss-up. I'm right now between Bianca Belair and Tiffany Stratton, but man, 2024 Bianca Belair really won me over, so I'm going to say Bianca. I feel you should start utilizing your contacts and interview wrestlers. Do you have any plans to do so this year? I do have contacts and I could do this. I just don't want to do this. I'm not an interviewer. That is a skill that has to be honed, that has to be perfected. I cannot just sit here across from a wrestler and all of a sudden be a Chris Van Vliet style interviewer. That's just not what I do. So do I have plans for it? No. Could I do it? Yeah, very likely I could, but I'm just not going to. Who do you think will be the next top babyface like Cena or Cody in the next 5 years? I do think it's Braun Breaker. You look at Braun Breaker head to toe, and this dude is the entire package. He's great in the ring, and he's a great promo as well. And right now, he's supposed to be a heel, and people are cheering the hell out of him. People are doing the dog barks everywhere that he goes. Whether he's a good guy or bad guy, it doesn't matter. The crowd's always behind him. And to me, that is just a recipe for success. I feel like your next big face of the company is going to be Braun Breaker. Which TV show are you currently binging? I'm actually rewatching Dexter right now, and I'm going to rewatch all of it. I'm going to watch the original Dexter through Dexter New Blood, and then I'm going to watch the prequel that they just released, Dexter Original Sin, because that's the reason why I started rewatching this. I saw that Dexter prequel, and I was like, okay, let me get through all of it, and then I'll get back to that prequel and watch it. You've been in the new house for a while. Do you ever miss your old area, or is the new one just overall better? Do I miss the old area? Good God, no. I never shared this, but there was a crack dealer that lived next door to us. There would be like routine drug deals. Cops would be there all the time getting called for something. Overdoses would happen right beside us. There was a shanking once. We also, because there was a crack den right there, there would also be other crack dens that would build around that neighborhood because they know where they could get their next big hit. So it was a terrible neighborhood. Every night somebody would try to break into our car. I'm not exaggerating, every single night. So I'm glad that I'm out of there. I'm in a much nicer area, in a much nicer house, in an apartment where I can actually make noise as well. Actually, I'm not in an apartment. I'm in a house where I can make all the noise I want, because before I was in an apartment where every 5 minutes while recording, my neighbor would fucking yell at me for making too much noise. And now I can be as loud as I want. How did you and Sarah meet? We were way more traditional than nowadays relationships. We did not meet online, Tinder, Bumble, or whatever it was. We just met at a bar. We met at a bar, we hit it off, and then from there, we've been dating ever since. Want a collab? Okay, so I get collab requests literally every day. People email me wanting me to come on their podcast, to do a video with them. Here's the thing, 99.9% of the emails that I get is just asking me to come on their podcast. They don't send a link of what their channel is. I don't know anything about their analytics. I don't know anything about their show. I need to know what I'm getting out of this. I need to know if it's worth my time, and it's impossible to know when you don't send that information. So please send that information next time that you ask people. ¿Naciste en Colombia o Canadá? Yo nací en Colombia. He's asking if I was born in Canada or Colombia. Colombia. Does your partner enjoy watching wrestling, or is she just want to watch it as a casual fan? Definitely as a casual fan, and she'll only watch it like once in a blue moon with me, but when we do put it on, she enjoys it, or at the very least pretends to enjoy it. I don't know. She knows it's important to me in my life and my career, so it's never as if she's ever gotten in the way of me watching wrestling, but it's not really something that she seeks to watch on a weekly basis. Santi, what was college like for you? The first like year and a half, I sucked, bro. I got like C's and D's. I never like failed, but I got like really, really bad grades in my first year of college. Even though I was a great student in high school, I was like an A+ like honor roll student in high school. But going into college, bro, I just fell into the party life, like really, really fell into it. But then once I was threatened with academic probation and like losing the scholarships that I had going into college, I dialed in and I did graduate in the expected amount of time. I actually graduated with dean's honor rolls. So I really got it together. But man, my first year and a half, it was it was a blur. All right, folks, thank you so much for watching this month's Q&A. We'll see you guys next month, but as always, we'll see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow because we do daily videos. Okay, goodbye. Take care. Goodbye. Get out of here.